As a financial planner, you must see hundreds and probably thousands at this point of clients come in and have different perspectives on money. What do you think is the lie that people tell themselves about money?
Yeah, that's a great. That's a great question. I have these conversations a lot where one of the big ones to me is it's too late. So people, and that age can be. I've talked to 30-year-olds who feel it's too late. It is a huge lie. A lot of times they're 50, they start thinking about retirement, or maybe somebody in their peer group at work retired and they're not that much older, and then they start to really think about it and go, oh man, I haven't started yet. I traveled when I was young. I blew it, or whatever it came up in their lifetime, and they started late. They always say, oh, it's too late. And it's an interesting line when it gets thrown at me, because like, what does it mean it's too late? You're just going to not do it at all. You know what I mean? It's kind of like almost like weight loss in a way. If someone feels like maybe, they can't start, it's like, it starts by picking up a weight. It starts by depositing $100 over here in an account. That's all it is. So that's a really big one. It's a devious one too, because it's a prolonging kind of lie. If they don't start, then it's a cyclical, right? So then next year they'll say the same thing. Next year they'll say the same thing. And what's happening with a lot of Canadians, and I'm sure probably a lot of people around the world, is they get to the actual moment when it's time for theoretical retirement. Either their body can't keep working, or they're just so tired, or maybe they have kids that need help with their kids, whatever comes about in someone's life. And at that point, maybe, I don't want to repeat it again, but then it almost is too late. You didn't do it 20 years ago when you were repeating it to yourself over and over.
So for somebody who thinks it's too late at 30, you're still so young at 30, but it can feel like you're behind. I think things have gotten so much more expensive in recent years. A lot of people are finding it difficult to save money, especially if they're renting, not living at home and being able to save money. But if you're renting and you maybe only have a few hundred extra dollars a month or something, what advice would you give to that person? Like, would you say you just need to increase your income, or is there something that they can do with that $200 or $300 a month to like get the process started?
Yeah, that's a great question too. Like, I used to say, would you open up some of your finances to me? And I used to literally be almost more of an accountant where I'd go line itemization with them and see where they're spending their money. I don't do that anymore, because now I'm more macro, where I just have conversations with people and say, listen, I don't know where your money's going. I don't know what your financial picture looks like, but it's one of those things where if people think they might have $200 a month, they probably have three or four. If anyone was honest with themselves, a good exercise is just to actually open up your banking app and actually maybe print it out. Because on your phone, you can only see, the last, day or two. Print it out. It's a painful exercise, but it's an easy one where you can eyeball what it is you're spending money on, and how it's escaping your account. For people who are in their 30s, feel like it's too late, or like you mentioned, they call it a rent trap. It's not always a trap, but that's what they call it. It is hard. It's not a secret that it's expensive to live in this country, in this province. It is hard to kind of set aside any amount of money to invest. But the challenge is, if you don't, you may very well find yourself in a difficult situation later on. So you have to really challenge yourself. I know it's kind of like they call it like a boomer thing. The critique is that we spend our money at Starbucks, but that's not the reality. That's not the reality. We live in a more expensive time. You can look at analytics of what it cost per salary in the 70s, and cost per salary today. It's more expensive today. It's harder today. It's harder to have a family. It's a challenge. It's a real grind, but you have to start somewhere.